Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to build a PC for data science and gaming purpose. So I'll go through the parts quickly, and here we are aiming to build a Linux PC with Windows dual boot so that the user may use TensorFlow. He wants to work on AI and data sets, so he is getting a beefy GPU which supports both RTX and TensorFlow with Tensor cores, and he's also getting a good CPU that can handle his work. CUDA and TensorFlow are the two things that the user uses for his AI and data comparison. And so the CPU that he chose here was Ryzen 7 3700X. It has 8 cores and 16 threads, up to 4.3 GHz max boost, and it supports XFR with all the greatest features that you can get in AMD, and it also has a RGB Wraith cooler, okay, that we are not going to use here. A liquid cooler from Deepcool, Gamex L120T liquid cooler, and it has blue LED. Motherboard we are using Gigabyte AOS X470 Gaming 7 Wi-Fi, 64 gigs of RAM, 32 GB of each RAM, but the speed here is 2667. But by experience, I can overclock this up to 3000 MHz without any issues on this motherboard. And here we are using all SSD. We are going all SSD. So for the boot drive, for Windows and Ubuntu, that is the Linux distro that we are going to install here because the user is familiar with Ubuntu. We are using Samsung's 970 EVO Plus, and for storage we are using Crucial P1 NVMe SSD. For the power supply, we are using the recommended power supply, which is for 650 watt 80 plus bronze certified unit from Antel, 50 watt modular power supply. The cabinet we are using Deepcool Matrix 55. This is RTX 2070 Super Ventus from MSI. It has 8 gigs of GDDR6 memory, and it's more comparable to your RTX 2080 than your RTX 2070 because the die used here is same as the RTX 2080, and it performs here. It's a cut down version of RTX 2080. So what happened here was the motherboard that I bought was X470 Gaming 7 Wi-Fi, which was manufactured before July 7th of 2019. So I had to update the BIOS. I'm using a 1200 to update the BIOS, and let's start the build. So in order to start the build, unbox the processor and the motherboard. After unboxing the motherboard, remove the retention arms, because in order to mount our liquid cooler we have to remove those clips which are pre-included. After removing that clips, lift the retention arm of the motherboard and take your processor, gently hold it by sides, align the notch and place it on the motherboard and just close the retention arm. I have already fixed the backplate of the cooler. So now what I'll do is I'll put the RAM, which is 64 gigs of dual channel, and install the SSD. In installing SSD, we also have a heatsink included. So in the first slot we are installing Samsung, and in the second slot we are installing Crucial P1 SSD. I'm going to prepare the cabinet by installing the power supply and the required cables. I require two 8-pin PCI connectors with some SATA connectors to power the graphics card and the included RGB controller on Deepcool Matrix. I've already prepared the motherboard, so I'll just gently slide in the motherboard inside the cabinet. Now it's time for me to install the graphics card. So RTX 2070 Super going. Before installing the graphics card, just see whether the lock is in place or it's open, because if the lock is closed, you will not be able to install the graphics card and install all the screws. I will completely install the graphics card. From the behind, take the graphics card power cable and attach all the power cables required. Before that, you have to attach the power cable for the motherboard and the CPU, which is 24-pin ATX and 12-volt EPS connectors. And you will also have to attach the front panel connectors that I've already attached. You can see the front panel diagram in your motherboard manual. When it comes to cable management, this cabinet is really good for cable management. It has a really lot of space to hide the cables, and the cable management on this build was also good. When it comes to cable management, I prefer scissors and zip ties. Zip ties are necessary. Properly route the cables and tie it up. The build is ready. I am going to install Ubuntu and Windows 10 in dual boot mode for the data processing and AI TensorFlow work. So let's start the software work and let's begin the testing. When it comes to CPU testing, I use Cinebench R20 paired with hardware monitor. Our CPU scored around 4257 in Cinebench R20, which is really respectable for an R7 3700X. And when it comes to temperature, our CPU, it peaks around 72 degrees Celsius in this 120 mm liquid cooler of Deepcool. Usually it sits around 67 to 68 degrees Celsius. When it comes to the GPU, I use Unigine Heaven paired with the MSI Afterburner in order to monitor temperature and frame rate. Unigine Heaven, I have run 1080p ultra settings. In 1080p ultra settings, the frame rates were as shown in the video, and when it comes to temperature, the temperature will be around 68 to 70 degrees Celsius. Initially it was around 68 to 70 degrees Celsius, but after around the 15th scene, the temperature reached around 70 to 75. At its peak, the temperature was around 81 degrees Celsius in its default fan curve. So the PC build has been completed, and this is Kiran from Custom Builds signing off. Like and subscribe. See you all guys. Bye.